Hey everyone, Anthony Furman. You may remember me as La Flama Blanca. I was a professional 105 kilogram strongman, world champion 2018 2019. I went on to start Clash on the Coast, which was a competitive strongman organization focused on the weight classes of the sport. We were able to get live on ESPN, and in 2023, I disappeared. It's been almost 3 years now since I left the sport of strongman in a flurrious fashion flurry. I haven't talked about it publicly much. It was a lot, uh, but I'm healed. I got momentum going. Found my next path, and I think it's important for the people because I had a little bit of a following. I didn't have a major, major million, 100,000 followers, but I had an impact. And this past summer, this past year, as I've kind of slowly crept back into the strength sport, the stories people have told me about how I've impacted them has really kind of helped me to get over that self hate that I developed for failing at Clash. But that's what I'm going to talk about today to get it out of the way so that we can move forward with Strength Lead and all the great things we're doing. You're going to learn how I got from a shithead 105 kilo world champion to somebody that is rebuilt broken and has found a system to do it with others. April 2022 was the second year of Clash. Um, the first year was amazing. We were able to get on ESPN 8. We had record breakers. We had a lot of momentum. That season, I decided to expand the weight classes and not just the 105s because I heard the need from the community. That was a mistake. It was too early. I overstretched myself financially. I changed my focus from enhancing the one class to everybody. It was out of love. I really wanted to help. I saw what we could be, and I wanted to help the others get there. I didn't have the financial means. I was just a soldier that I saved a little bit of money prior to COVID, and that's where I spent my money was on the Strongman Community Clash. It was going pretty good. 2022 though, we got stiff for $50,000 from Segi TV. I think our total budget was 109,000 for that show. So 50 grand deficit that put us in the start of the next season just struggling. Trying to find money from sponsors as best we can, but there's strongman's a hard sport to get sponsors, except for sponsors that are in the sport. That is a truth that if you're in the sport for longer than a couple of years. We got screwed. Segi TV screwed us, put us in the hole. My partner TJ, he left the Clash to help with the Strength Lead side because as Strength Lead was growing, so was Clash, but we started focusing on Clash more, and we took from Strength Lead. And he saw the potential in that way before I did to be something bigger, what it's turning into now. So he left, which left me overall in charge, and I was not equipped. He was great at the business side. He was great at the money side. He was great at the organization side. I was great at getting people. I was great at promoting. I was great at announcing. We were a very good team. Tyler, who went on to turn into pro strongman lead, was in that. He was helping run the comps, but at that point, I had just retired from the Army. I was staring at a 50K hole. I was traveling the country that summer. Denver. I went to Denver, to Orlando, to Dallas, all for regional shows, all at a loss. The model I'd put in was very good for the regional promoters, but it had no accountability, and I was on the hook, which I didn't mind because when you're in charge, you're in charge. I've always felt that. I always will. You go down with you ship type thing. We actually took Segi to court, by the way, too. Yeah, they're foreign. We found out. Don't get involved with foreign business too. It's another I learned though. We got involved with some foreign business stuff, and there's nothing. I'm not here to start drama or name names or blame or anything, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. So that brings us into the fall. The competitive season had been over. All the while, my knee, which is why I had to retire from the Army and strongman, had been getting worse and worse. I had tried everything. I tried burning the nerves out of my knee. I had cortisone. I was a candidate for a total knee replacement at the age of 33. I was in pain all the time. I started abusing alcohol a couple years before that during COVID. And that became my numbing my pain, and it made me withdraw from everybody. I started internalizing. So all the friends I had made through the years towards the end of Clash, I had alienated. And I own my part in that. No one's perfect, but I definitely am going to own my part. I definitely receded myself. I started having a me versus them mentality. The other organization promoters, I don't blame them necessarily for treating me the way they did. I was definitely an upstart, brash young man trying to take over their business, I guess, from their point of view. I never looked at it like that. I looked at it as a different sport. I thought Clash was very different from traditional strongman, and we should highlight that for the future. So that vision, didn't line up with a lot of other organizations, and things happen. And part of it is the old way things were done wasn't good enough for me. It wasn't good enough for my weight class that I felt. So I decided to do things differently. So that's a clash of culture, a clash of generations. That fall, my dog Sky Bear I got her in 2008. She'd been the one steadying force in my life from when I was deploying to Iraq, Afghanistan, to recruiting, to strongman, and after. And she was 15 years old, and that winter that she passed away. So again, no pity. It just is. It's what affected me on top of everything else. Rebecca Lorch, our friend, I became real close to her a couple years prior. She took her own life shortly before Christmas that year, right after I got my knee totally replaced. So in the same year, retired from the Army, Clash, my dog, Rebecca's beautiful soul, and my knee. I lost 5 things. I was at rock bottom. If you were around social media then, you saw me rage posting. I was blaming everybody. I was angry. And I apologize. That's not how I should have handled it. And that's not to say the person involved with Rebecca's thing, you know what you did. But everyone else that I took it out on, I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say it. I'm sorry if you felt I was posting incoherent, mad, angry stuff. It's because I was. That's when I decided to leave the sport. It wasn't healthy for me. It wasn't healthy for anyone else. I was not helping the sport anymore. So January 2023, I said, "It's yours," and I left. It was that simple. There was nothing else behind the scenes. I had nothing. I literally said, you guys, let's go change it into what you want. Take what I started and create it, which Tyler's Dome Pro Strongman Lead is doing fantastic. So I moved home. I thought I was too stupid to go to get this degree in athletic training. I told my wife I wanted to be a gym teacher because I wanted to be around sports. I've always wanted to help people. That's been the consistent theme between the military, maybe not the strongman when I was competing because it was all about me, but then Clash and now my current career. She convinced me I was smart enough, and that was hard because I spent my entire life not being smart. I used my body, whether it was infantry, whether it was strongman, like my body was my means of production. Um, but I got into the program. I learned that I was very intuitive in my career with a lot of the stuff, a lot of the principles. I didn't always follow through, as you can tell by my knee replacement, but sometimes when you redline for 13, 14 years, no matter what the rehab and recovery you do, you're going to break. And I learned that. But also, I learned why I was so good. So I'm learning the rehab. I'm starting to learn why I was able to perform the way I was. And then I chopped my big toe off in July of 2024. Stupid lawnmower accident. Um, that was life changing. I don't know how else to put it. I was laid up in bed. I had pins in my feet. The big toe they tried to put back on rotted off, so they had to fully amputate it. And I had a wound vac on a nub on my foot, and it's been a journey. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to walk right. Turns out I was so strong that getting back was no problem. Boom, another thing I learned: years of weight training makes you more resilient to catastrophic injury. And yeah, so that taught me everything about myself. That was everything. That was the culmination of all the trauma and all the experience melded into one because I had to survive this. I had to come out of that toe and survive, and that's where this new strength pathways is born from. So that's got you caught up. Right now we're 2025. I'm working as an athletic trainer, licensed sports medicine professional, former world champion, sports performance coach, and I'm here bearing myself in hopes that you understand where I'm coming from in the future when I'm talking about these topics, whether it relates to strongman, fitness, rehab, conditioning. It's a summation of my life's totality with a lot of different events that most people don't got to go through. So that's where my perspective is. So if you've stuck around this whole time, thank you. From when I was competing to now, Thank you. You're just thank you. If you left and you came back, I don't blame you. If you left and never come back, I don't blame you either. But I'm not focusing on that. I'm not focusing on the drama. I'm not focusing on mudslinging. I'm focusing on the future. And the future for me is helping people. Pretty simple. So thank you again. This is La Flama Blanca signing off.